What's up, guys? It's Dragonfly Mike 77. Today I'm doing a tobacco review. I'm doing Desi Murli Khus. I've been meaning to do this review for like a year and a half. Every time I get it, I end up smoking it pretty quickly because this is by far my favorite Desi Murli flavor I've tried. This flavor really stumps people. I was watching a couple of the reviews on it, and it seems like everybody has a small different take on it, and mine does as well. Typical Desi Murli spice to it, that's just common, that's always going to be there with Desi Murli. If it's not there, something's wrong. Take a poke for you guys. Coals haven't been on very long. Normally I don't like doing a review when it's not there smoking yet, but I've smoked this so much that I know the flavor pretty well, at least my take on the flavor. As I said, you get that typical Desi Murli spice with it. It's strong, it's the overtone in it. The middle tone is the black leaf, just the tobacco, the natural oils that come with it. The undertone on Desi Murli is odd. It's a spice, which I think that's one of the reasons it's spicy to me. I think that's one of the reasons that it's kind of hard to pick it out, because you have the typical Desi Murli spice with it, but then you have just kind of like this little twist. What I did start to notice in the beginning of smoking it, when I started learning about the tobacco, was that it had this little sour note to it. It reminded me very much of Nakla Khan or Nakla Supercast. If you've had either one, about 30 or 40 minutes into those tobaccos, you start getting that natural sour tobacco tone. And that really comes out in this. I don't know if he's using a different leaf or if it's the flavoring, what it is in Desi Murli Khus, but that sour note, as I've said in a lot of my reviews, I like sour tobacco, especially that black leaf sour. That's, to me, the ultimate flavor for some reason. And I'll take a poke for you guys. The inhale flavor really isn't too strong. The spice on this tends to come out a little more on the inhale than other Desi Murlis, but the flavor is all in the exhale. As I said, it's got this, the sour note in it is very intriguing. I think one of the reasons that I like this flavor the most is every time I smoke it, I feel like there's just something different about it. Even with, not necessarily from batch to batch, but from smoke to smoke, each time I smoke it, it seems to kind of take on a different shape, and it kind of changes up, but it's still that familiar Desi Murli Khus flavor I like. It gives me a variety that I don't really find in other tobaccos. It's very similar to, if any of you guys are Scotch drinkers, even though I don't drink anymore, if you start getting into some of the, stronger scotches, the single malts, the pretty pricey scotches out there, each time you have a glass, you pick up different little notes, different flavors, and that's really what Desi Murli does. I wish that sometimes I still drank, because I know a glass of scotch, even something like a Dewar's, would be phenomenal with this. You have the musky taste with the scotch, and then just kind of that spicy sour note with this. I'm sure it would be just a phenomenal mix. I'll take another poke for you guys. Starting to get there now. I normally don't take so many hits in reviews, but it's so delicious for me. Now this is definitely a flavor that you want a black leaf hose for. It doesn't necessarily have to be dedicated to Desi Murli Khus, but this is my black leaf hose. Sometimes I smoke Zag and double apple in it. That's alright, the double apple doesn't really ghost it that badly, but you really want to smoke this with a leather hose that's non-washable because it really soaks up the flavor, and as you condition the hose, as you season it, the flavor just becomes stronger, and it becomes just even better, and that's something that, you know, I really would like to have a Desi Murli Khus hose just dedicated to that. But again, I don't order it enough, so it would be nice to spend, you know, the $11 on it, but it's not a necessity for me, at least. Well, what I did do on this bowl that I'm a little disappointed about is I poked too many holes. And when you're smoking a flavor like this, you kind of want to limit the amount of holes you do. A lot of people feel that more holes, more heat gets in the tobacco. I tend to disagree with that. I feel that the less holes you have, even though it can affect the airflow, you'll find that happy medium. It actually retains the heat better. It keeps the heat from rising up. It keeps it in the bowl, and that's something that I've just been smoking so much haze, and I've been using this little bowl so much that I got a little hole carried away. But that's alright. It's still a great smoke. I'll take one more poke for you guys. To recap on the flavor a little, you get that, as I said, the spicy notes, the tobacco notes, and then with this one, which is a little different, something I've never really picked up before, is I noticed it's a tad floral. Now, as I said in my last review, I'm not like real big on florals, but because it's an undertone, and with the spices, I feel like that's supposed to be there. It's a flavor that I don't really feel throws off the actual flavor itself. So it actually makes it pretty enjoyable. As I said, that's not something I really noticed too much in smoking Desi Murli before this batch. So that's one of the small little differences I get in each bowl, and it's phenomenal. This is what I smoke when I'm having a rough day or I'm just not in the greatest mood. I know I can go to Desi Murli Khus. It's going to give me a decent buzz. The flavor is just going to kind of like ash away my worries for the day. This is something that really, really relaxes me. And on a side note, I know this doesn't have much to do with the actual review itself, but I was looking at my demographics, which is pretty cool, and how you can do analytics and all that kind of stuff. And I saw that I actually have a small South African following, and in October I actually will be able to take a trip down to South Africa. I can't say the name of the town that I will be in. It's pretty remote. I just thought I'd share that with you guys. You know, I might just do reviews, but I really do travel around a lot, and you know, last time I went, I wasn't able to bring my hookah. I am absolutely so excited to smoke in the middle of basically nowhere with a good bowl of Desi Murli Khus, some Zag and double apple. It's going to be a great experience. I just thought I'd do a shout out to some of my South African fans out there. Thank you very much for your reviews, and I can't wait to go there again. It's the best place I've ever been. With that, I think that's all I got. Please comment, like, and subscribe. And as always, guys, peace out.